Today, we'll dive into the stories of the top 3 computer viruses that shook the digital world. First on our list is the I Love You virus. On May 4th, 2000, an ordinary Thursday morning, millions of people across the world opened their inboxes to find a message with a subject line that simply reads, I love you. The email looked harmless, romantic even, a love confession from a friend or coworker. But clicking that attachment was like opening Pandora's box. Once opened, the I Love You virus unleashed chaos. It overwrote image files, documents, and spread itself by hijacking the victim's Outlook address book, sending copies of itself to everyone they knew. Within hours, it infected over 50 million computers. In days, it caused over $10 billion in damages, disrupting banks, governments, and corporations alike. The virus was traced back to a student in the Philippines, Onel de Guzman, but he was never charged. At the time, there were no laws in his country against creating and spreading malware. The I Love You worm wasn't just one of the first major email viruses. It was a wake-up call. It led to significant changes in email and cybersecurity practices. But overall, it was a lesson in how dangerous trust can be in the digital age. But the chaos didn't stop there. Let's jump to another notorious threat. In September of 2013, a new kind of digital monster was unleashed, CryptoLocker. But it didn't just spread, it demanded payment. CryptoLocker was ransomware, a malicious program that encrypted the victim's files with military-grade precision. Photos, documents, and business files, all locked behind an unbreakable wall of code. It was once again spread using email attachments disguised as legitimate documents. The attached PDF was actually a zip file containing an executable, which took advantage of Windows' default behavior of hiding the extension from file names. Once opened, the payload installed itself within the user's files and was made to run on startup. It then connected to one of several designated command and control servers that would generate a 2048-bit RSA key, which was used to encrypt the user's files. After encryption, a window appears informing the user of the encryption and demands a payment of $300 in Bitcoin or prepaid card within 72 hours. If payment wasn't made in time, the ransomware threatened to permanently delete the private decryption key, making file recovery impossible. Although CryptoLocker itself was easily removed, the affected files remained encrypted in a way which researchers considered unfeasible to break. The CryptoLocker virus is estimated to have infected around 250,000 to 500,000 computers between September 2013 and May 2014. Estimates suggest over $3 million was paid out before the operation was finally crippled by international law enforcement in late May 2014. But the real cost was the lost personal data, the shattered businesses, and the fear it left behind. CryptoLocker didn't just infect computers, it infected trust. It marked the rise of ransomware as a weapon and set the stage for a new digital battleground. As devastating as CryptoLocker was, there's one virus that still holds the record for sheer speed and scope. In January 2004, an email began to spread around the world, taking over computers as it went, growing so large it started to severely impact the performance of the internet itself. It was called MyDoom, and it became the fastest-spreading email worm ever, exceeding previous records set by the I Love You worm, a record which, as of 2025, has yet to be surpassed. The email appeared in people's inbox with the subject line, Mail Delivery Failure, with an attached .exe file pretending to be something harmless. Opening the file infected the user system with 2 different payloads, whilst also sending itself to every contact in their Outlook address book. Beyond email, the worm also copied itself into the shared folder of Kazaa, which was a common peer-to-peer file sharing application at the time, in an attempt to spread even further. MyDoom was quite the clever worm. It avoided sending itself to certain email addresses at universities such as MIT and Stanford, as well as companies like Microsoft and Symantec, in an effort to remain undetected for as long as possible. The first of the 2 installed payloads was a backdoor on port 3127, which allowed hackers to remotely control the infected computer. The worm's second payload launched a distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack, overwhelming the SCO group's website until it went offline. SCO had become a controversial figure at the time, for filing lawsuits against the Linux community. In later versions, the worm escalated further, by aiming its firepower at Microsoft itself. MyDoom spread at a staggering pace. In its first few hours, it infected an estimated 50,000 machines, and at its peak, at least 500,000 computers worldwide, with some reports suggesting the number may have exceeded 1 million. At one point, 1 in every 5 emails sent globally carried the worm. The surge in traffic slowed overall email delivery by about 10%, while average web page load times jumped by 50%. By the time the outbreak was contained, MyDoom had caused an estimated $38 to $50 billion in financial damage, making it one of the most destructive computer worms in history. Despite investigations by the FBI and the Secret Service, and even a $250,000 reward for information leading to the creator, no one was ever caught. Some suspected anti-SCO activists, while others pointed the finger at Russian cybercriminals, but the true author of MyDoom has never been identified. These 3 viruses, I Love You, CryptoLocker, and MyDoom, not only caused enormous damage, but reshaped the landscape of cybersecurity. By understanding these threats, we can better protect ourselves today. And that's my top 3 computer viruses. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you get an email attachment from someone you don't know, maybe don't open it, unless you really wanted to meet your local IT technician.